stunning scenes from the Queen Victoria markets in Melbourne, where police were sent in, according to the report, to deal with one or two coronavirus protesters, but then summarily proceeded to push everyone out of the market. These are scenes literally from dystopic movies like Soylent Green, where the scoops were sent in to push people away as they were trying just to get food for their families. What is going on in Australia? And this is not the only example. There are other farmers markets where police were sent in and patrolling, and people were pretty alarmed by this, not understanding why a police presence is suddenly required at a neighborhood farmers market. And there were no protesters there. Why are police suddenly being sent and using force at places where food is available in Australia?
Before we begin, you must all be warned. Nothing here is vegetarian. Bon appetit.
Panda, what's your name?
Aiden.
Oh, that's a pretty name. Do you want me to put on a show for you?
Sure.
Great! But first, you gotta come give me a big fat hug. Oh, come on! Don't be shy.
Give me a... Hey! Hey! You're hurting me! I can't breathe! Help! Somebody! Help! Mommy! Mom! Help! Somebody! Help! Somebody! Help!
All right, everybody calm down. We got it. There's one for you. Don't drop that. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look what you did. There you go. There,
Aiden!
got my hand on it there.
Have you seen Aiden? Where's Aiden? Aiden, come over here right now!
Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh.
Susan Ross is adjusting to life without her partner of 43 years.
He was a lighthouse, is what he was.
That lighthouse was named Ted. He died in March at 71 years old.
He was very specific in his will that he wanted a green burial.
That's where Shar Carpenter Barnett and a Sacred Moment funeral service comes in.
And they want their death to be a reflection of that life.
Ted was buried in a biodegradable basket, left to return to the earth. A service that she's provided for years, and one that she'll take a step further next year, thanks to the signing of a new bill.
I'm happy to sign this bill.
That bill allows for a human body to be broken down in two new ways. The first is recomposting, the process of turning a human body into soil.
I mean, that is a brand new concept.
The second, known as alkaline hydrolysis. In this case, heat, pressure, and water are used to reduce a human body to bones. In both cases, the body retains nutritional properties, and in both cases, the remains can be spread.
And feeding the earth just as it's fed us while we were alive, you know?
Well, I know this. They're telling us that we should start eating the bodies of dead people when they die. And Washington State this year legalized taking dead bodies and using it for fertilizer on our food.
I ain't going for that. I ain't going for that at all. But
I swear to God, that's
happening. I know that's what they said. I figured that's what they said. Then we talked about how the media is, is
Washington
is
State
controlled.
legalized using people to feed people, but it's done by
putting it on the crops. There's no way to rationalize cannibalism.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass. How is the Most High? You're probably wondering, how is he going to make your heaven over your head brass? Listen, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 3. Therefore, the showers have been withholden. I mean, he's going to hold back something. Watch this. And there have been no latter rain. See? And there has been no latter rain. Why? It's going to explain why. And thou hast a whore's forehead, because thou refusest to be ashamed. Because you refuses to be ashamed, man. It's talking about the children of Israel. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 4 and verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. Remember that power we were talking about? He was going to break the pride of thy power, that food. That's where you get your strength and your energy from. Okay? Watch this. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thy be in the earth, man. Okay? Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 23. And the earth that is under thee shall be iron. See? That's yielding forth that strength. That's why it's going to be iron. Let's drop down to 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder. Hold up. What color is rain? It's clear. So he's giving a description on the rain. He said it's going to be like powder. So when you look at powder, what color is it? It's white. When you see those aerial planes, when you see it, those chemtrails, what color is it? And dust. It's like dust. All right. When they fertilize those crops, guess what they put in on it? Huh? That's dead bodies. From heaven shall it come down upon thee. See? Those planes go up And it comes down upon the crops. Why? Because the farmers are not receiving any rain, man. They can't. Okay, they're not receiving the rain, man, and the earth is not yielding forth its strength. All right, to them. All right, so they have to do this stuff in order to eat, man. They have, in order to eat that dust of the ground, because when it go down, it's okay, until thou be destroyed. Because eating a lot of that is going to give you some of the symptoms of Kuru. The same thing we get, some of the symptoms that you get from eating human flesh, human bodies. All right? That's what you see our people having. All right? Drop down to verse 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air. Those fowls are not necessarily talking about birds. See? It was talking about planes. When you look at a plane, it looked like a what? Far away. It looked like a bird. All right? They was going to put this human compost, these bodies, into planes. Okay? And they was going to spread it out upon the crops. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to read on. And unto the beasts of the earth. Even the cows eating this stuff, man. You know? And no man shall fray them away. No man is going to fray them away. Let's go to Psalms chapter 78 now. Verse 27. He rained flesh also upon them as dust. How did he do that? And why did he do that? And feathered fowls, those planes, like as the sand of the sea.
Oh, not now. Come on.
Are these
graves? Sure. Be uncivilized not to bury them.
Besides, it's good for the soil.
U.S.-based company Recompose will start the first ever funeral service that turns human bodies into compost soil next year. Citing architects involved in the project, Dezeen reports that the flagship facility in Seattle will be capable of housing 75 bodies in its compost vessels. According to Recompose, prosthetics and pacemakers will be removed from the cadaver to prepare the body for the natural organic reduction process. Citing company founder Katrina Spade, the Washington Post reports that the vessels accelerate natural decomposition. The body is interred in a vessel 4 feet wide and 8 feet tall with alfalfa, wood chips, and straw, and then heated to a temperature of 150 degrees Fahrenheit. After 30 days, the microbes will have decomposed the body and eliminated most pathogens and residual pharmaceuticals. The process creates about a cubic yard of soil from each person, and the descendants' friends and family may take part of the soil for their garden.
Recompose creating topsoil. I mean, would you eat food that came out of topsoil that was grown?
No, absolutely.
I'm not trying to gross you up, but like they say you get two wheelbarrows full of
no.
soil.
Yeah, I mean, Washington State approved this, but how does this pass federal guidelines, like the FDA?
Yeah.
How does this pass federal muster? I'm surprised that this is being allowed at the state level, and the feds haven't cracked down on this bill.
I think that you just described a very clear health issue. I mean, what if you have farmers who maybe this soil is cheaper or more efficient than what they're using, and then they're growing crops, and then we're eating them. And so technically we're becoming
eating
cannibals.
bodies.
And so I think there's a lot of issues, environmental issues, and for us it's a moral issue. There's very clear guidelines on how bodies should be taken care of after they've passed, and I think we should stick to those.
I can always count on both of you to not be lukewarm about an issue. All right? Thanks, guys.
And I know you're a theorist, that there may be human meat in the Impossible Burger.
Here's
real meat and human meat. And they say that a lot of the derelicts, homeless people, and other missing cases that have gone cold could be the basis of the Impossible Burger.
Well, let me give you what we know. The movie Soylent Green with Charlton Heston back in the 1970s is where people are being euthanized, they're dying, they're being killed, they're being run over by tanks, and they take them and they mix them up, and they feed them back to people. And now they've got ads all over L.A. saying cannibalism's good, and they've got professors saying humans are bad. We've got to start killing each other and eating each other.
What?
And the Pentagon is training to, quote, kill zombies in an apocalypse, which is a drill for mowing down groups of starving people.
They're making our food out of people. Next thing, they'll be breeding us like cattle for food. You gotta tell them. You gotta tell them.
Promise, Tiger, I promise. I'll tell the exchange.
You tell everybody. Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell them Silent Green is people! We gotta stop them somehow!
Come on back inside. I think I might be able to rustle you up some sandwiches.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
We gotta go now.
They killed all these
They
people.
didn't just kill them, they ate them.
Her hands were shaking.
Too much human meat. Let's go.
I found some meat. I hope you're hungry.
No. No, thank you.
Well, we gotta be going. So soon? Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Are you sure you won't stay?
I'm sure. I'm very sure. Put the gun down. So, Laura, you take this. Open the door for us, please. So, Laura, thank you for the tea.
Thank you for the tea.
Thank you so much for the tea.
Here. Now, here's the sack that contains the brain.
I would really like some water.
That smells great. Yes. Let's try now, please.
I would really like some water.
It is good.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
Yeah, it's true.